Hey folks, welcome back. So this week, the first thing that we're going to work on is that tomorrow I'm picking up more feed from the feed mill. I'm getting, I think, 2,500 pounds. So, of course, to get that unloaded once it gets back down here, I need to take the loader over to the place where I've got my animals at the moment. So we're over here this evening, and what we got to do is, of course, we've got all of our, well, not all of our lumber, but a good bit of it stacked on the trailer over there. So we need to get that off from there. Then we got to hook the trailer up to the truck to get that on the other side of the creek. I think we should be able to pull the trailer with the loader on it up the hill up to the road. I don't think I've ever tried that before, but I think it should work. So we'll get the truck and the trailer on the other side, then we'll come back, grab the loader, take that across the creek, because I don't want to take all of that weight at once across the bridge. It'd be kind of iffy. Take the loader over there, get that loaded on the trailer, then we can haul that out of here. All right, got that trailer emptied off. Should be a little bit less amusing this time watching me get it hooked up, because I got the backup camera hooked up on the truck. It was disconnected because the tailgate had to come off or something, and it just never gotten reconnected back up again. So I've got that, and that makes it so much easier to get these things lined up. Alright folks, well, we had a wonderfully uneventful trip up to the feed mill yesterday. So as you can see, we've got the loader back down here at the farm. We'll get this unloaded and get that back over there, get the trailer back over there so we can set lumber on it if we want to, and then we'll take this truck back over, and then we'll come back out later this afternoon and hopefully do a little bit more milling. Alright, well, we made it back out here, so I don't know, an hour or two later. Got the old trusty rusty with all the tools in there. And we're gonna work on doing some milling here. Now the first thing that we gotta do is, I've still got some boards left over here from last week, I guess it was, when we were out here doing some milling last. So first off, let's get those guys moved out of the way. Alright, as I was getting ready to clean up those 2x6s over there, I realized we had one board here that's sort of a piece of slab wood. It's got some bark on it, some wane on it. I think we can get another 2x6 out of this one if we kind of take it right out of the middle. Somehow I missed that one when we were out here last week, so we're going to mill that guy up first, get that one out of the way, and then we'll throw that log up there. Well, all I've got to say is, man, I am talented. I am just really, really talented. So I kind of got the mill off the tracks just a little bit here. I'll show you what I did. And for those of you who also have a woodland mills, you might want to take note of this. So my clamp here is sitting just like this. Whoa! Alrighty. You gotta be careful here. This thing is still moving. And I was rolling it back after I made the cut, and I was just kind of scooting right along there because, you know, there's no need to go slow when you're pulling it back. Except that thing was in the way, and it made a nice little ramp like that, and it just popped that right off the tracks, no problem. So, you know, just a word of warning, be careful where your clamp levers are sitting. Otherwise, you might do this. All right, well, we got that back up where it's supposed to be. We don't have much left on this cant here. We got this down to a 6 by wide, so we can just start knocking some off. Shouldn't take too much long. Well, I probably shouldn't say that, should I? Alright, well, we're gonna have to hold off doing this final log here until tomorrow, after we took care of our extra little project for today, getting that thing back on. It kind of ate up a little bit of time, so we'll have to wait till tomorrow to do that guy. Alright, so first thing today, I've had a couple questions about how does the drill hook on to the mill and how do you get the handle off and that sort of stuff. It's really simple, so I'm just going to take a quick second here to show you how that goes together. Okay, so at least with the HM 130, not the Max, but the 130, all you have for the handle is you've just got this little spindle right here, a shaft. You got a handle that goes on top there, and then you've got a pin that goes through the holes and lines everything up. That's it. So all you need to do is just find something that's about this size, maybe take like a nail, grind off the point. You can just drive this pin right out of there, and then this just will slide right off. It's just a plain old smooth shaft. And then you can just grab your drill. This is about as long of a drill as you'd be able to get. It's about 8 inches, 8.5 inches or so from front to back. And you really can't go any longer than this. I kind of have to open it up all the way and then angle it in, and you can see how close that is to being too long to get on there. But then just pop it right on just like that, tighten down the chuck, and you're good to go. Let it go in the right direction. Just like that. Alright, well, with the final log all milled up, it's time that we do a little bit of cleanup around here. I don't think we've cleaned the sawdust out at all from this one group of logs here, so let's get this all cleaned out. Alright, sawdust is cleaned up. We still need to stack all of those boards up. But before we start working on that, we need to do a little project here on the truck real quick. I noticed that it was making a little bit of noise, had a little bit of a rattly sound, and sometime here in the near future it looks like we're gonna have to replace the muffler on here. But for the time being, I think if we put a couple little tack welds on there, it'll at least reduce a little bit of the noise, get us going a little bit longer until we can get around to completely redoing that. Got the welder set up here, so let's do a little bit of work. Alrighty, well that'll do it for now. Like I said, you're gonna have to replace that at some point, but it'll cut down on the noise a little bit for now. Alright, so by working on the truck for a little bit, that put our stack of 2x6s here in the shade. So now, while we're working on getting all of those, we're gonna get them stacked on here. We'll use the loader to move them from over there to over here. Will, for the most part, be in the shade, so that'll make it a little bit nicer. Alright folks, I think this is going to wrap it up for this week. We got 100 2x6s stacked over here, and I actually, you might notice, I put in some 2x's at the 50 mark. That way I can just lift off half of them at a time, because these thinner stickers that I use aren't thick enough that I can get the forks in there between it. So if I want to be able to lift off some, I have to put 2x's in there instead. So we got kind of two stacks, sort of one stack with two sections of 50. Then over here we are just short of having another 50. We have, I guess this is 47, I think. So we almost have 150 of them all together. Then as I was going through, I realized I had somehow got one of them here that I never finished cutting down to width. So this one has a good bit of wane on it, so it just needs to be cut down into a single 2x6, but apparently it must have gotten mixed in with the others. So I'm not going to mess with that tonight. Not going to fire the mill up just to cut one board down to length, so that can wait till next week, I guess. So for next week, I guess hopefully we'll be picking up some more logs. Typically when the last two times I've gotten them, I've picked them up on like a Friday or Saturday, so I don't know what we'll be doing earlier in the week, but hopefully we'll be getting some more logs at some point. If we're lucky, he might say, oh yeah, sure, come on over on Monday or Tuesday or something, but I'm not going to count on it based off from the last couple times. I'm not really sure what else we'll be working on. We can get them earlier. Of course, we can do some milling. I guess we'll both find out next week what we're doing next week. So with that very helpful little bit of information there, we're gonna close out the video for this week. As always, I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you next time.